my fellow beekeepers and YouTubers. Brad with Backyard Bees here. So today, it's about the third week in March. It's a nice day out. It's about 65 degrees. There's a little bit of a breeze. It's a good, comfortable day to be checking on the bees. And what I really want to accomplish today more than anything is maybe take a peek inside and see that they're queen rate, see that they're laying broods, make sure we have a queen, and just trying to check and see how things are with them. I'm starting in my nuke yard, one of my nuke yards here right now first, and then probably later on this afternoon I'll be going to my honey production yard and take a look at those. So a little history here. This box here that we're going to be opening here today, this was a swarm I caught last spring. A friend of mine's mother had these bees. They were on her front porch. They had made they had swarmed from a wild colony, and so they've made it through winter here, it seems, and want to take a look, make sure they got a queen still in them. This is a double deep nuke colony, 5 frames on top of 5 frames, and I'm going to be opening it up here. Figured I'd bring you guys along and we'll see what we have here. I'm not quite sure what to expect. These went into winter a little bit light on honey stores, even though I'd fed them. So through the winter, of course, we kept candy on them, and so we're going to take a look here and see how they're looking at this point in the spring here. Their bees are flying well. You can see here in the front of the colonies, they've got a nice flight going. They're out collecting. They are bringing in some sort of pollen, so there's something out there. So we're going to take a look here in this hive and see what's going on with it. I can see the sugar bricks we put on the other day. I think this was one that I had opened when I recorded the other day. They're going to town on that sugar brick. Bees are taking it down. I'm going to try to smoke them there just a little bit to get them off the brick and to let us take a peek into them. As you can see, the bees are chewing on the sugar. Sometimes they'll do that because it's an easy meal, but mainly because when rearing broods, you need to have protein and you need to have carbohydrates. Your protein comes from your pollen. Now I do have a small pollen patty in these, which is right here. However, you see they're not touching that, so that means it tells me that they're finding some kind of pollen out other than what we got here. So that kind of explains that to us. So when you're taking a look through the colony, what I always like to do, I like to pull an outside frame first. Now these, I can pretty well tell that there's not a whole lot of anything going on here in the top box. Probably these bees were kind of strange in the fact that they didn't want to draw comb too well. They didn't take honey stores, even though I had given them everything they needed as far as sugar syrup to draw these. So let's pull a frame up out of here. So here's a good frame. That's a frame of honey they have from when they had honey last year, so they still had food, so that's good. They only drew half the frame. As you see, there's just a frame of foundation. Half of it was drawn out and then filled with honey. So they've been eating their sugar. I guess they're wanting the easy treat instead of using their stores. Now again, these were one of the colonies that fell over during the winter. I'm really happy to see them that they made it through that. I sort of had my doubts when I first saw that situation happen. Okay, so we do have some brood in the top box here. This is sort of a picture-perfect frame for in a hive, especially this time of year. Hoping you guys can see this well. In the middle here we have the capped brood. These are the capped pupa. Around that we've got pollen, bee bread that they've been bringing in. And again, just like that hive the other day, they're seeming to find some sort of a nectar source. I don't know if you can see that wet looking to the frame. That's nectar they're bringing in. Then of course there's some capped honey around that frame. So they do have brood in the top box, which tells us there is a laying queen in this hive. I want to dig a little deeper though. I want to see how much brood she has. You have to be really careful, 2 reasons. 1, you don't want to crush a queen this time of year because you'll have a heck of a time finding another one. And 2, after they've had it glued down, their boxes all winter, they're a little difficult to get apart. So as any time you work bees, just take your time. Wow, really impressive frame of brood here. We've got capped brood all the way down through here, as you can see. Nurse bees taking care of it. I have some larvae that's yet to be capped here, it looks like. The back side, much of the same. I have a nice, really nice solid frame of capped brood here. They're really trying to build up. Not a whole lot going on this frame. Quite a bit of bee bread actually, and pollen that they're bringing in. I don't know if you can see that greenish looking pollen there in the cells. I haven't spotted the queen yet. She must be down in the bottom box. We'll put that back together gently. Take his top box off. So I can see they've built some burr comb to go between the boxes. There's some paper in here from the date ant winter patties. Now really, for the purpose of this inspection, what we've seen is all we need to see actually. We know there's a laying queen in here because there's capped brood. But I want to see a little deeper, just see what it looks like. Like I said, you really want to be careful working bees this time of year, just because if you do smash a queen, there's not a lot of drones to mate with yet. I haven't seen a single drone in this hive yet, to be honest with you. We have another frame of capped honey here. an empty frame with a little bit of honey on it. Ideally, I'd like to see a little brood down in the bottom here. Some more remnants of capped honey. And more of the same. So one of the drawbacks you run into here, and we're using nuke boxes, we don't have removable bottom boards on our nuke boxes, so I can't just switch the boxes around. But through the winter, from all the paper from their winter patties and wax cappings, whatnot, and I have to put staple wire on the front for a mouse guard. There's a bunch of the wax cappings here in this box, so I'm going to try to clean that out a little bit really quickly. And of course there's some dead bees in here too. But with that screen on the front for them keep the mice out, you can see all that paper that they had from their winter patties. So I'm going to dump this box out, get rid of all that paper that's in it.